Yes, baganda bange nsubire mu mpulira bulungi. Mwenna mugoberera ensonga za muganda waffe Fred Lumbuye era nga mbadde muwulira ebigambo biyitirivu nnyo nnyo. Naye nsuubira nti at least mulabye ku dokumenti Hon Zaake gyasharinze. Omanyi Hon Zaake awamu ne MPs abalala bagenze take for of course parliamentary duties. Naye kyaguddewo nti ate era ne ensonga ya muganda waffe Fred Lumbuye ate nga naye eguddewo kati n'abeera nga alina okumala takisinga bw'abeera eri ate bw'abeera n'eno. So naye waliwo amawulire amalungi era nga ekikulu kya byonna muganda waffe mulamu. Ekikulu kya byonna mulamu. You know fena tubale tumanyi muganda waffe bamubye ne bamuta. You know what these guys do and capable of doing. Naye the good news Fred Lumbuye mulamu akyassa bulungi era nga actually ngenda bayitira mu documenti Hon Zaake gyasharinze ku Facebook page yakajisharinga kati dakika ntono nnyo eziyise mabega era nga ezzaamu essuubi era ewa amaanyi era nga etina kyetutegeeza nti twongere okupika okubanja muganda waffe Fred Lumbuye wona wobeera making sure nti tozikiza. So document eno kanjisome osoko julire bulungi nga sunaba kujinyonyola mu Luganda n'ebigambo era biwandikiddwa mu Lutake era nabyo tugenda bivunula mu Luzungu kubanda biwano already kuba nange posting gitaddeyo abaana abategeera Lutake wabategeera internet obulungi abamanyi okukozesa zino apps ezitranslating from Turkish to English baji translating zedda era ngenda gibayitiramu ebbaluwa eno gyolaba ku screen gyentaddawo eri mu Lutake naye of course tugenda gitranslatinga mu Luzungu oyo technology of course already wali abamanyi obulungi okozesa internet. So katusoke ne article ya oba message oba update ya Hon Zaake ansoke njikutereyo wano berengo ogiraba bulungi nnyo such that otegera bulungi ki ekigenda maaso. Let me do like this. Kankole went. Just wait a minute. So kenkulage ekigenda maaso ekiriwo era obwedda kyolindiridde. Where is this? Okay, here we go. All right. I think this is far much better. Let me see. Okay. Update okuva Hon Zaake hiyo erange gamba when we arrived in the Republic of Turkey we were hopeful that our joint efforts to reclaim the freedom of comrade Fred Lumbuye would yield. We had to first establish the entire gist of the matter and assess the situation on the ground, but of course this would not be achieved by us on our own but rather with the intelligence of our NUP coordinators within Istanbul. Akugambye nti nno we batuuse mu Ttake olunaku lwajjo babadde balina essuubi yitirivu nnyo nti kwegamba okulikeliminga freedom oba okumakinga sure nti muganda waffe aweebwa eddembe lye Kajjubi Fred Lumbuye bajja kikolako bulungi era bajja kigusa era nga kibadde balina okukola kwe kusooka okusoma embeera eri etya ku ground kyekiriwo kyekikoleddwa kyekirizibwako and all that kind of thing. Naye era nakugamba nti babale tebasobola kikolako nga bobo kubajjukira bavudde Kampala ne bagenda Turkey. Of course including mu ba NUP coordinators. Mujjukire nti no NUP si just kapate NUP tuli banene. Tuyina ba coordinators okwetolola ensi eno yonna genda South Africa genda Ghana genda Egypt genda Istanbul genda America genda ojja kusangayo NUP because NUP everywhere. So Hon Zaake akugamba nti badde balina kusooka kwasaganya ne ba NUP coordinators abali mu Istanbul mu Turkey. So ayongere nakugamba nti in our modus operandi as NUP let me highlight it so that we move together. Let me hope you guys see each and everything I'm reading for you because I wanted to bring it to you live and you read it yourself. Agambye nti in our modus operandi as NUP, we are supposed to respect the existing structures within the countries to which we travel, which is why we had to work behind the curtains and on the front line, but with the NUP Turkish team in the lead. bawa ekitiibwa structures eziri mu nsi zabagenzeemu era nga ensonga lwaki babadde balina okusooka ne stepping back ebintu ebimu ne babikola eri mu background ebimu ne bajja ne babikola mu lujjudde naye ng'ate babikola wamu ne NUP team eri mu Turkey. Nagamba nti our comrades here briefed us and the secretariat on what steps we were to take. We hired an international human rights lawyer to mitigate the extradition efforts and rather push for the granting of asylum documents to our comrades so he could be taken to a safer haven in another European country or North America. Agambye nti ba comrades baffe bali ku ground omuli ba pato n'abasigadde mwena pato weda mulaba nga wa updates n'ebintu ebisigadde. Agambye nti ba comrades abali mu Turkey baba briefinze bulungi era ne ba briefingira wamu ne secretariat ku kiki kye balina okukola era bo Zaake n'abasigadde bafunye international human rights lawyer, bafunye lawyer agezeeko okumakinga sure nti ensonga zino azikwasaganya bulungi, okumakinga sure nti muganda waffe ebipapula by'okumufunira obuddamu bigobebwako bulungi nnyo okusobola okulaba nti asigala nga alina eddembe lye era nga waali ali safe bulungi, okumutwala to could be taken to a safer haven in another European country mu nsi eyo gy'anaabeera nti feeling safe within Europe. Agambye nti we tirelessly followed up and engaged the concerned tax authorities. We tirelessly followed up and engaged the concerned tax authorities to establish what had inspired the eventual arrest of our comrade. We were since briefed that he was incarcerated. This is very important. Let me even highlight it for you guys. We were since briefed that he was incarcerated on the command of the dictator, which imposed trumped-up charges meant to silence his resolve. We did not relent in our efforts to ensure his freedom. Agambye nti no bababuuliddemu era babasomeddemu bulungi nnyo lwaki comrade waffe yakwatiddwa, oba babadde balina okumakinga sure nti bamanya kyekyakwasizza Lumbuye era nga kino bakikola nga babuuza oba nga bengaginga tax authorities bazuulire ddala ekituufu ki ekyakwasizza comrade waffe Lumbuye era ne babategeeza nti Lumbuye yakwatiddwa ku biragiro bya dikiteeta era yamutaddeko agasango agayitirivu ennyo ag'ekisirusiru agajingirire okumakinga sure nti no amusirisa aleme kuddamu kuvaamu kigambo na kimu. Comrade Zaake nakugamba we did not relent in our efforts to ensure his freedom. Nagamba era nabo tebazikiza kumakinga sure nti no bagezaako okulaba nti no addizibwa eddembe lye. So ayongere nakugamba nti our lawyer wrote to the tax attorney and prayer of wait a minute. Our lawyer wrote to the tax attorney and laid a series of humanitarian and political grounds that would implore Turkey to heed to our prayer of either granting Comrade Lumbuye a resident permit to stay within or consent to his asylum to another willing country, which in his case was Netherlands, where the paperwork of asylum had been concluded. Let me hope you got this very well, that our lawyer wrote to the tax attorney and laid a series of humanitarian and political grounds that would implore Turkey to heed to our prayer of either granting Comrade Lumbuye a resident permit to stay within or consent to his asylum to another willing country, which in this case was Netherlands, where the paperwork of asylum had been concluded. So lawyer yawandikidde attorney wa Turkey era namuteerawo kwegamba points ezenjawulo eziri humanitarian era eziri political ezisobola okukkirizisa Turkey okumakinga sure nti nno ekkiriza Lumbuye okubeera nga afuna obutuuze mu Turkey oba okumakinga sure nti asikinga asylum mu nsi endala era ng'eno si ndala okujjako Netherlands, of course within Europe, era nga otogera kati ipapula bigobebwako. So the point Zaake kugamba nti The point we need to explain is that for our client to be permitted to get asylum in the Netherlands, since procedures have been started in that country, reads line 5 of our petition to the tax esteemed directorate under the attorney's office. We had laid out a series of factors penned down by our tax lawyer who wrote our demands originally in their mother tongue. The letter was penned down in tax language. As a party, we solidly and overtly stood against the extradition. We were against the Museveni regime's plans. We were against the Museveni regime's plans to take Lumbuye to Uganda for trial. We have all acted in accordance to our means. What we need to advocate for at the moment is that our comrade regains his freedom. Let each of us act within our capacities to see that the regime is overwhelmed. We must not relent, because this is not the time to do so. Continue to press for his freedom till the regime spits him out of their hands. This last statement, erina okuteekamu kwegamba mutima ate ogweyongera obusungu, kuba asembayo n'akugamba nti we must not relent, because this is not the time to do so. Continue to press for his freedom till the regime spits him out of their hands. What does it mean? The dictator still has him. All we need to do is to keep pressing harder. That's what we need to do. Ngenda kudira mweno gundi mu luzungu eri mu lutake nena yo tugenda jigira tugenda jiddamu olabe ngenda kulabe engereje. I believe ababitegera bagize da sigenda na kwemenya ngenda kuita with some comments, of course I already saw one who already translated it. Na echo osobola okufuna Google Translator. It is an app n'ogitunuza mbu tunuza bwo tuofuna Google Translator kwa kati eno kimanyi nti liri mu lulimi lutake kati goba yagalo gitranslatinga okwata bukwasi Play Store abakozesa Android abakozesa iPhone abo simanyi siri iPhone user nikozesa Android jenzitegera obulungi. So ugenda ku Play Store nonya kye bayita Google Translate app Google application ya Google translating a language. So tekamu nesoka ekwaka application yako wo katunuza mu, of course you select a camera option no tunuza mu late eno. Of course ngomaze ku selecting olulimi lw'oyagala translate from Takshi to English no tunuza mu bwoti bulungi nnyo egenda bikuleetera mu luzungu byonna osome kagambo ku kagambo ne tugenda kikola, of course. But before I do that, just wait a minute. Just wait a minute. Just wait a minute. Did I translate for you this? Yeah, I believe I did. Kuba Zaake Gambit, as a party, we saw the Andy over stood against nga party babadde era bakyastandize ekyokuleeta muganda waffe Lumbuye okumujetake okumuleeta Uganda. Bo tebakikkiriza era tebakyagala. Mumanye ekisobola okubeerawo singa muganda waffe Lumbuye aleetebwa wano Uganda. You know what can happen to Lumbuye. We've seen it all. You understand? So nga party nga NUP ekyo tekyagala era kyovola bange kugamba let us continue pressing hard. Nagamba what we need to advocate for at the moment is that our comrade regains his freedom. Let each of us act within our capacities to see that the regime is overwhelmed. So on that point, before I translate for you this letter, this is another call to each and everyone who really loves to see this through. Okulaba nti muganda Lumbuye addamu n'akikuba buto nga atali safe nga tagenda kubeera intimidated nga ali mu nsi jagenda okubeerera mu safe. You understand? So let's continue pressing hard. Abali ku Twitter mugene maaso nga mukikuba, Facebook, YouTube, wherever. Guys, let us not relent. Tetuyina kuzikiza, tetuyina kuza mukono, tugene maaso nga pressing harder until bino bipropaganda byabwe mbwali ku nnyonyi mbusimanye etuuka saa 8 man oyo bujwanga nze nabagambye ku macha nti no bakoze ekyo kuba drailinga kuba malamu manyi kuba making sure kuba making oba kuba kirizi man kati newe tu fighting ekintu kyawe de domye bamukomyawo no kyali waffe tebannaba muteeka ku nnyonyi neegi era taliiko gwe kyolina okumanya nti let us keep pressing harder paka we bamuvomitinga so let me visit I think my Facebook page. This is I posted this a while ago. I believe I've seen something where okay, here it is. Just wait a minute, I want to get you the translation of this later. Ndikuleetere bulungi wano nga bw'ogiraba wano naye nkugambye osobola okugenda ku Play Store for those who use Android. The app is called Google Translate app. Google Translate app. All you need to do is to download it, and once you download it, you are going to actually you can save this image, you can save it in your Google Photos, and once you save it in your Google Photos, all you need to do is to select that later when it is in the Google Photos, and you select an option of reading it but in English. It will translate for you all the words or the text from Turkish language to English. Yeah, those who can't do that, you can of course simply just download the Google Translate app. It is there in the Play Store. Download it, and after downloading it, install it on your smartphone or on your iPad, phablet, tablet, whichever gadget that you are using right now. After doing so, after installing it, of course, open it. These are the guidelines that I'm actually explaining to you for those who would love to read this. After downloading it, you're going to open it, and then it is going to ask you, set up the Google Translate. Which language do you want to translate? It is Turkish language. And what do you want the application to give you, or the output, or the feedback of the app? What do you want to read? The translation, which one do you want? That is from Turkish to English. And once you are done with that, you simply just need it to ogitunuzamu butunuza. Umara ogitunuzamu ng'ogenda ku camera option. When you go to the camera option, of course, all you need to do is to you point your camera in that letter. Only what it is going to do is to read for you each and every word, but in English. That is that. Nayenga, what it basically means is this. Here. Just wait a minute. Let me hope you get it very well. But wait a minute, guys, before I give you this translation. Yeah, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Munine mukatono nnyo. Okay, let me hope you guys hear me very well. Yeah, gundi eno jembale mbagamba era kujibaddira mu wano mu teknologisandiza bulungi nnyo eri mu lutaki. Alright, njagala nsomere bulungi. Yeah, yagizeemu ddala let me use Rockefeller Conant kozesa kale nkola confirmation bale saagala. Yeah. Alright, kakati ebbaluwa eno gye nkugambye oba ekiwandiiko kino kyekugamba nti kyetugenda okuddamu okukuba mu luzungu kitegeeza ki? Mukulu Zaake kyapositinze ku platform oba ku Facebook page ye. So let me remove this. Point is, of course, Chigamba 1-8 giving information into release explanation. Fred Lumbuye, whose name is written above, will pretend he is not known as Serifasa. The person is a citizen of the Republic of Uganda. There is no security of life in his own country, although it is thought for a moment that he resides in our country without a residence permit. We are of the opinion that he should be granted residence permit in our country due to his political and humanitarian reasons. We have also been informed that his spouse and the children of the person are living in their own country, Uganda, and that their life is not safe. For the issue of the arrest of the person in the international press and social media sharing sites has started to be dealt with rapidly and is about to turn into a propaganda against our state. Of course, that is 35. If our explanations in this petition and our request are not accepted by your directorate and the decision is made to deport the person to Uganda, in this case, the issue that we need to explain to your honorable directorate as information is that the person has also started asylum procedures in the Netherlands. Ochiraba, so there is no way ukagenda mudiza waka kafuwe kuba asylum papers zatandise document sure nti zikolebwako ngagenda kubeera asoboloke na Netherlands. The obligation to demand the deportation of the person to the Netherlands instead of his home country Uganda. 6. As an attorney, we assume the legal responsibility for the release of the person and for the residence permit applications and all other legal applications. Requests 1. To provide information about the situation of the person. These are the requests. Mweno gundi bweyo leta jambi. Ino je kiri mkudamu lizende. So then request number 1, to provide information about the situation of the person. Request number 2, to release the person. Request number 3, to start the process of granting residence permit to the person for humanitarian reasons and his political reasons. To report this situation to the Uganda Tax Embassy, we request it in accordance with all international agreements and European human rights decisions to which it is a party, as well as the Constitution of the Republic of Turkey and the laws of the Republic of Turkey. And the laws of the Republic of Turkey. The power of the attorney will be presented to us as soon as necessary information is transferred by your esteemed directorate in order to contact our client. Yours sincerely informing the directorate that we have assumed the duty of attorney for his brother in America and his relatives in Uganda regarding whatever. That is that. So, in brief, that is the translation that I wanted you guys to get. Only that in most cases, it is better you get it yourself. I told you if you want to get the translation here, maybe I'm going to repeat it. To get the translation, all you need to do is to get the Google Translate app on your smartphone, and then because it's so translating at this thing. Egamba nti Fred Lumbuye, whose name is written above, was detained in his house known as Serafasa. Then number 2 negamba nti the person is a citizen of the Republic of Uganda. Number 3 is the person is a citizen of the Republic of Uganda. There is no security of life in his own country. Although it is thought for a moment that he resides in our country without a residence permit, we are of the opinion that he should be granted a residence permit in our country due to his political and humanitarian reasons. 3. We have also been informed that the spouse and the children of the person are living in their own country, Uganda, and that their life is safe. The issue of the arrest of the person in the international press and the social media sharing sites has started to be dealt with rapidly and is about to turn into a propaganda against our state. That is a very big point, guys, and that's why I ask you guys to keep pushing, keep sending emails and tweets to all the Turkish embassies. We need to, reclaim the freedom of our comrade. Number 5. Number 5, remember, if our explanations in this petition and our requests are not accepted by your directorate and a decision is made to deport the person to Uganda, in this case, the issue that we need to explain to your honorable directorate as information is that the person has also started the asylum procedure in the Netherlands. The obligation to demand the deportation of the person to the Netherlands instead of his home country, Uganda, arose. The obligation to demand the deportation of the person to the Netherlands instead of his home country, Uganda, arose. So, Chiragana. Bino ebyokujja Uganda tusooke tubyerabire Uganda kusobole nga tukikupe such that agendera ddala wa Netherlands kubanga okulabira misedo kugira nga bikola bira process. Number 6 egamba nti as an attorney we assume the legal responsibility for the release of the person and for the residence permit applications and all other legal applications. So these are the requests in this letter. 1. To provide information about the situation of the person. Of course, number 2, to release the person. Of course, releasing the person is the most important of all. To release the person is the most important of all. Then number 3, to start the process of granting residence permit to the person for humanitarian reasons and his political reasons. To report this situation to the Uganda Turkish Embassy, we request it in accordance with all international agreements and European human rights decisions to which it is a party, as well as the Constitution of the Republic of Turkey and the laws of Turkey. The power of the attorney will be presented to us as soon as the necessary information is transferred by your esteemed directorate in order to contact our client. That is the document, guys. For those who do find it hard to read Turkish or who find it hard, of course, to read Turkish, that is it. Kakati. Checho. Baganda bange point link zituzikiza twebereremu Uganda fa mugawulidde agaliyo ekikulu kya byonna akyali era ekyo tukyebaliza Mukama Katonda akyali mulamu era ekyo tukyebalizani kama katonda kati tulina okukola omuliro gwonna gwetutaddewo omusajja akugambye nti omuliro gwe tutaddewo ku social media gutandise kugamba buyitirivu nnyo nti guyinza okutandingamu ate propaganda eristage yawe so guys temwenyoma whatever you are doing akatono kona kwali mukola oba okola ki oba ogenda ku Twitter n'oteekayo post n'ogamba Lumbuye n'otaginga mu zi human rights organizations ez'enjawulo oba n'ogenda ku Twitter y'omuntu nga yagikoze post y'omuntu nga yagikoze n'ogiritweetinga n'ogyongerezaako ebigambo byo oba n'ogikotinga oba because that is the only media that we are left with, social media. The rest is compromised. You've been seeing what they are posting and what they are actually uttering. Nga byonna tebiri coordinated. NPS ekugamba kino, Sanuka TV ekugamba kino, Admiral Press ekugamba kino. Obonna bonna butivi bw'abanyampi. Ate nkya, so mainstream media, you can't rely on it for credible information. Kaput. You cannot. Mainstream media, you can't rely on it. Mainstream media, you can't rely on it for credible information. Nsubire music aleta babuganira nnyo nadde nirabidde omukendeza guys. Sorry guys, nirabidde okendeza music. Sorry guys. Ngenda jiddamu. Kanjiddemu gundi. Kanjiddemu kansooke nirabidde okendeza ka music. Waliwo nagendedde mu ka break nadde music mubalekeddeko nirabidde omukendeza. Okay. Ngenda gibaddiramu mugitegeere bulungi. Sorry for that. I had forgotten to reduce on the volume of the music. That was just, I've never done it. I think this is my first time. Sorry for that. And sorry, chinjiziza comments nzirabi wano. Music for what? Sorry, Mosh Mutali Nicholas and yeah. Rashid Prince, Musimenya David. Sorry guys for that. Okay, ngenda kuddamu gundi eyo ngabwe mbadde njisoma. I believe you did not actually get anything. What I'm going to do is to give it to you again. So mbadde nkugamba nti ekiwandiiko Hon Zaake kyatadde ku page ye kino era ne nkugamba nti nno ubanga oyagala okufuna amakulu gaakyo osobola okufuna application gye bayita Google Translate app. Genda ku Play Store teeka mu Google Translate app omala ogifuna gikozese. I know buli muntu yena ina smartphone era ng'osobodde okufuna YouTube app. You can as well make the Google Translate app function. All you need to do is to set it up. Ogende ku camera option, ogenda ku camera option egenda kusaba olulimi lw'oyagala otranslatingamu n'olw'oyagala okumanya oluteekemu from Turkish to English. Omala otunuze kamera yo mu kipapula kino oba mu kiwandiiko kino egenda kukikunnyonnyolera bulungi nnyo era ekubulira amakulu gaakyo. Naye nze sigenda ngenda kwanguyizaamu kankubulire ki what nataddeyo dda post eno ku Facebook era ng'ono yakikoze dda gwe bayita Lokafera Conrad. Ng'ekiwandiiko kino kigamba nti Fred Lumbuye, whose name is written Fred Kajubi Lumbuye, whose name is written above, was detained in his house known as Serafasa. Number 2 negamba nti the person is a citizen of the Republic of Uganda. There is no security of life in his own country, although it is a thought for a moment that he resides in our country without a residence permit. We are of the opinion that he should be granted a residence permit in our country due to these political and humanitarian reasons. Number 3 negamba nti we have also been informed that the spouse and the children of the person are living in their own country, Uganda, and that their life is not safe. Number 4 nekugamba nti the issue of the arrest of the person in the international press and social media sharing sites has started to be dealt with rapidly and is about to turn into a propaganda against our state. I told you that is very important, guys. The issue of the arrest of the person in the international press and the social media sharing sites has started to be dealt with rapidly and is about to turn into a propaganda against our state. Guys, temuzikiza. This is a very big issue over a very big point, a stronger one. Into the issue of the arrest of Lumbuye in the international press and the social media sharing sites has started to be dealt with rapidly and is about to turn into a propaganda against our state. So whoever is doing something, guys, multiply times 4. We need to end this madness. We need to make sure that our comrade is not extradited. Otherwise, you know the repercussions. You know the repercussions. You know what is going to happen to him once he's brought in Uganda. So let us not make that happen. So number 5, kugambye nti if our explanations in this petition and our request are not accepted by your directorate and a decision is made to deport the person to Uganda, in this case, the issue that we need to explain to your honorable directorate as information is that the person has also started asylum procedures in the Netherlands. The obligation to demand the deportation of the person to the Netherlands instead of his home country, Uganda, arose. So, kitegeeza ti muganda waffe wetukikuba obulungi bino ebadde bawozanda ate bagenda mu reportinga mujja take mutwala Uganda ate bagenda mwongerayo mu safe haven, bagenda mwongerayo mu kifo kyawuli kyagenda okulira nti ali safe, and that's Netherlands. Number 6 nekugamba nti mu kiwandiiko kye kimu ekyo nti as an attorney we assume the legal responsibility for the release of the person and for the residence permit applications and all other legal applications. So these are the requests. So number 1, to provide information about the situation of the person. So there is a need for information about Lumbuye. There is a great need, because actually you guys, I'm very sure majority of you don't know what is actually, if you've never seen Lumbuye ever since he was kidnapped. You've never seen him. So very many people bagendera kuhiyase ona postinga kino olina postinga kiri olina yogera kiri so nga buli mukicho tebikwatagana. At least this is a document, this is a petition from atengirina mu lutake. So number 2 nekugamba to release the person. These are requests. First of all, to provide information about the situation of the person. Then number 2 nekugamba to release the person, and that is very important, to release Lumbuye, to release him. Number 3 nekugamba to start the process of granting residence permit to the person for humanitarian reasons and these political reasons, to report this situation to the Uganda Tax Embassy. We request it in accordance with all international agreements and the European human rights decisions to which it is a party, as well as the Constitution of the Republic of Turkey and the laws of the Republic of Turkey. The power of the attorney will be presented to us as soon as the necessary information is transferred by your esteemed directorate in order to contact our client. Yours sincerely informing the directorate that we have assumed the duty of attorney for his brother in America and his relatives in Uganda. Hey, kakati anti owulira atone kwa santi wabitegede nti adesimanye kiwandiko bakikuwadde mu lutake obacha ba mafia simanyi naye nkijje kuki ku page yani ya Honorable Zaake, nkijje ku page yani ya Honorable Zaake. Era nga bwe nakugambye nti Honorable Zaake yatadde ekiwandiiko kino nakugamba nti abatabaddeeko kansoke mbaletete gundi ya Honorable Zaake wadde mpuliddemu ebyo ebyaki ebyasimanyi. Anyway, katugira tukitwaza mu maaso kuba the fact of the matter tewali no wamanyi kituufu. Artist nti Honorable Zaake yali wali ku ground asobola otuwa rightful information. So this is what Honorable Zaake, of course, Honorable Zaake akugambye, when we arrived in the Republic of Turkey, we were hopeful that our joint efforts to reclaim the freedom of Comrade Lumbuye would yield. We had to first establish the entire gist of the matter and assess the situation on the ground, but of course this would not be achieved by us on our own, but rather with the intelligence of our NUP coordinators within Istanbul. Nakugamba nti in our modus operandi as NUP, we are supposed to respect the existing structures within the countries to which we travel, which is why we had to work behind the curtains and on the front line, but with the NUP taxi team in the lead. Our comrades here briefed us and the Secretariat on what steps we were to take. We had an international human rights lawyer to mitigate the extradition efforts and rather push for the granting of asylum documents to our comrade so he could be taken to a safer haven in another European country or North America. Honorable Zaake continues to say, we tirelessly followed up and engaged the concerned Turkish authorities to establish what had inspired the eventual arrest of our comrade. We were since briefed that he was incarcerated on the command of the dictator, which imposed trumped-up charges meant to silence his resolve. For those who actually have been asking why Lumbuye was arrested, why he was arrested, here is the reason. He was arrested on the command of the dictator, which imposed the trumped-up charges meant to silence his resolve. So, in brief, they are fake charges, very many of them that were put on our comrade Lumbuye. All of them are fake, but they are very many trumped-up charges against our comrade. Ronnie Sechimpi, you need the stamp of this document. It is there down. This is not a fake document, my dear. For those who just started following me, they see the Tower of Muwonge. Yes. I see people here like Ronnie Sechimpi nti gwe buli kyosanga oleeta ng'osomera abantu. Not that tuleeta wano buli Muwonge. Osooka kumanya document evudde mikono ki. Artist, I can trust Honorable Zaake. Yes, I can trust Honorable Zaake is an NUP and is a Commissioner of Parliament. Ate ali ku ground yetake wabula tatali Uganda. Okitegeera. So unless you want to get information from the regime, eyani eyono Honorable wamwe Oriem. You understand? Nenga, the point I was on, for those who were asking why he was arrested, lwaki bamukute, of course, the dictator. Of course, nga wamanyi dictator Museveni. The guy has been in the power for over 36 years. He's deeply entrenched. He knows how to play these dirty games. They have coordination all over. Now kati agezaako kukopa Kagame. Okitegeera. So, here is the thing. Our comrade Lumbuye was arrested on the command of the dictator, which imposed fake charges meant to silence him. So, Honorable Zaake continues to say that we did not relent in our efforts to ensure his freedom. Our lawyer wrote to the tax attorney and laid a series of humanitarian and political grounds that would implore Turkey to heed to our prayer of either granting Comrade Lumbuye a residence permit to stay within or consent to his asylum to another willing country, which in this case was Netherlands, where the paperwork of asylum had even been concluded. So, The point we need to explain is that for our client to be permitted to get asylum in the Netherlands, since procedures have been started in the country, reads line 5 of our petition to the Turkish STMD Directorate under the Attorney's Office. Yes, I've of course read for you that document. We had laid out a series of factors penned down by our Turkish lawyer who wrote our demands originally in their mother tongue. The letter was penned down in the Turkish language. As a party, we solidly and overtly stood against the extradition. We were against the Museveni regime's plans to take Lumbuye to Uganda for trial. We have all acted in accordance to our means. What we need to advocate for at the moment is that our comrade regains his freedom. Let each of us act within our capacities to see that the regime is overwhelmed. We must not relent, because this is not the time to do so. Continue to press for his freedom till the regime spits him out of their hands. So basically that is that. So for those who are saying the document is fake, then you needed to ask Honorable Zaake where he got that international lawyer that helped him draft it. And then you also needed to go and get the I don't know. Nenga, omanyikali, I understand it is hard to believe which information to believe. But the fact of the matter is, this is Honorable Francis Zaake Butebi. Is the one who posted this. Maybe let me actually make it larger and you see very well. I had zoomed it in such that you see very well. These are not my words. This is an update from Honorable Francis Zaake Butebi, who went to Turkey for official duties. He did not go. Let me make this clear for those who are saying that Honorable Zaake ngatatua update bichi. Honorable Zaake, he did not specifically go to Turkey to handle Lumbuye case. They went to Turkey with other MPs, of course, for other duties, as Honorable Zaake is the commissioner of the parliament. So, but it coincidentally happened that even this case of our comrade is also in play. So he has to multitask. He has to multitask this side and then the other side. This side and then the other side. Yeah, basically that is that. Naenga, what I need to tell you, there are very many developments. And we don't need to relent. We don't need to say that, okay, katichiwedde nedda. Abasajja bakyamuyina mutano. This is just a request. These are just requests. Is very fair. So kyoyina okumanya oyo propaganda gwe bade batandise mbu simanya ali ku nnyonyi, mbu simanya atuuse waka, temumukkiriza. Oyo propaganda gwe batandise mbu simanyi yakola overstay. Lumbuye has never Lumbuye has never made an overstay in Turkey. That was a propaganda created by the regime to make sure that it drains you, to make sure it distances itself as the party that actually involved itself in the arrest or in the kidnap of our comrade. So don't believe that crap. Ebyasimanyi nti abadde nti yakola overstay oyo bujwanga taliyo. Ebyogamba mbu simanyi fact of the matter kyali waffe bamukutte ensonga ezamukwasiza muzimanyi. Don't ask questions why he was arrested. He was arrested simply because he's a political activist. He was arrested simply because he's opposing a dictator who has been in power since 1986. Those are the reasons. And according to how Honorable Zaake was briefed, they have, bakuliyetinzewo bisangosanga ebiyiti ebyekisirusiru ne babimuteekako to make sure that they break his resolve. Oh, sorry, there are some people here who are not on Facebook. I'm very sorry. Maybe you need more clarification. This document is on Honorable Francis Zaake's page, and it has also a stamp. There it is from, let me see, I cannot read the Turkish language, as in I need to get my Google Translate app, and then I njitunuze bulungi ekuletede bulungi stamp. Nenga, that is that. For those who are not on Facebook, those are the updates. fact of the matter tetulina kuzikiza. Tewali gamba nti azuuse tanaba kukola ki kuzuuka, kuba tulina okumakinga sure nti no ali Netherlands oba aweereddwa bulungi ku bukuumi obw'enjawulo, nti era ngaali tewali n'omu agenda kuba obeera nga oweereddwa asylum mu nsinga ezo ezirina amateeka kati nga Netherlands, ate si tobeera safe. So abagamba nti eri feke sibanenya. Hey, Neda, to clarify on this document is not Zaake who wrote it. Maybe there are some people who came late. They will go and watch this video again. I will not keep explaining myself. But that is the update, guys. Nenga si Honorable Zaake yawandise ne baruwa. Neda si Honorable Zaake yajiwandise. The international lawyer jibafunye yajidraftinze. Yeah. Abawoza nti it's fake banyampi kirabika nayenga. That is the update. Munange, there are people who are happy to see Lumbuye being torn into pieces by the dictator, and I wonder which kind of people they are. There are people who are happy. You see them there, they are very happy nti bamukomeyewo bamukole byonna byamukola biki nogamba okay, nogamba singa bakikola gwe kibakola baganda baffe buli lunaku. So, you know, I wonder abantu nga bamu babisekera mbusekezi. Anyway, tebabulamu. You understand? Tebabulamu. Kuba tosobola kubeera nti oyagola buli omu. Naye the fact of the matter ffe tumuyiriddewo mubiri ate tukyaguyiwawo. Paka. Era kyenkubiriza baganda bange, ba comrades baffe. Guys, let's continue doing whatever we have been doing. Not forgetting that there are other political prisoners abali mu makomera ag'enjawulo, abali ekitalya, abali eggulu, abali embaale. Baganda ffe bakwatira embaale emyezi giringa ebiri egiwedde 3 tebabatanga. There are very many people still rotting in jail for simply having their country at heart, for loving Uganda so much. You know, their crime is supporting Bobi Wine. So as we fight for the freedom of our comrade, let us not forget that there are still very many people, the likes of John Bosco Chibalama. The guy was arrested, was kidnapped in June 2029. Up to now, no single person has ever had, know about his whereabouts. No single family member, no friend has ever actually got in touch with him again or knows where he is. Since 2019, in June up to today, John Bosco Chibalama. Mubiru James, it is now coming to 8 months. He is still incommunicado. He's not allowed to speak to anyone, no single family member, no lawyer. You understand the kind of situation we are in, So as we fight for the freedom of our comrade, let us also remember that there are thousands more still in there. Do you know that there are people who are still in prison and they were arrested during the Kabaka riots in 2009? Do you know that there are people who are still rotting in jail and they were arrested during the protests that sparked off after Museveni rigged the 2016 elections? Do you know that there are people who are still in prison and in various detention centers and they were arrested after Museveni during the process that sparked off when Museveni rigged the elections of 2011? So, what am I coming to? This is not new. This has been happening on a daily basis, only that it is intensifying, it is worsening day by day. If we simply keep looking at the dictator, all we need to do to this kind of illegal kidnaps, torture, murder, and all the atrocities that flash before your eyes live, they are not going to come to an end, man. They are not going to come to an end as long as the dictator is still in play. They are not going to come to an end. we are going to keep seeing all this happen before our eyes live, and we are going to clock 30s, we are going to clock 40s, we are going to clock 50 years of age when this nonsense is still in this country, Uganda, if we don't take action, if we don't stand on our ground and say enough is enough. How long are we going to cry? You know, fact of the matter, we are not blaming anyone for this, but we are blaming ourselves because we've not done enough to end this impunity, to end this madness. We've not done enough. And if I ask you a question, what have you done in order to make sure that this madness of dictatorship is put to an end? You know, look for those things, and if you are doing 1 or 2, man, multiply, triple those efforts. Yeah, multiply those efforts and triple them. By doing so, we shall be nearing to the end of the dictatorship. I just implore you to inch a few steps in moments when this dictator is gone. Just inch into those moments, you know, just inch a few steps in those moments when the dictator is gone. Fact of the matter, there will be fundamental change. There will be change. Just inch a few steps in those moments. You know, think about those moments. There will be good moments if we speak up as a people. If we keep quiet and simply just look at the things that happen before our eyes, man, nothing is going to change. If we wait for some other person to do it for us, man, no one is going to do it for you. I've read it for the enemy, Lukwago Mary, and the enemy has had it. Empapula za Lumbuye ezitamukkirizisa muleeta wano mu Uganda, wabula ate ezimuwongerayo mu nsi eri safe nga Netherlands zigenda mu maaso era nga kumpi ziringa eziwedde. So twongere okupika. So, guy, that is what I had to say, and that is the update that I wanted to bring to you. Maybe ngo inachobuza. Actually, I believe that is that. Sagala nyokola gundi zino zibere mpanvu nnyo. Yeah, unless ngo inachobuza naye. Basically that is that. So yena abalimba nti Lumbuye ali ku nnyonyi mu mugambe go sijja kimalayo naye mu mugambe agende yetuge tebatumalira budde. Kyolina okumanya before as I wind up nti the mainstream media yo eri compromised. Baba sensalinga olumu babalagira okupostinga ebyo baagala bapostinge. Gwe tolanga Museveni wagenda live buli ka TV ne buli ka Facebook page akali affiliated to NRM kabeera forced oyagala bato yagala ku license yo tugenda gisazaamu olina okulaga Museveni ali mu kwogera kere eggwanga webuuzo babira yogedde byali bigasizaani, you know. So mainstream media eyo yo kaput obeera nga oyagala credible news tosuubira nti ogenda kusimanyi eno NBS ogiya amawulire amatuufu tebakulya ssente nti simanyi Sanyuka TV nalabye babadde ku mwada nkunyinyi ng'ali ku kisaawe naye nga bo bennyini bakimanyi nti n'ennyonyi musajja taliiko ne balyoka baleeta propaganda yenayina ow'ekisiro musimanyi Lumbuye empapula zamugwako musimanyi akatabo ke kaggwako wakalabye ddi you know, wakalabye ddi nga bukosi bagezaako kubikkiriza kiri nti bebamukoze ki, bebamusindikidde bambega ne bamukola ki, ne bamulyawo. So tugende maaso nga tupostinga muganda waffe. Omusajja akugambye nti omuliro gwe tutaddewo gutandise ate okubafuukira ekizibu, nti guyinza okuteeka ettake, eggwanga lya ttake mu spotlight enkyamu. So point eri etya, ffe tugende mu maaso nga tukikubanga tubadde tukikuba. Ogenda kati ku Twitter omuntu trending nga Lumbuye. Yes, trending news in Uganda, for those who don't know how to see it. Twitter Lumbuye ya trending, so tukime ate no sirwa lero lokka. Kankulageko. Let me show you. Yuyo ya trending yuyo. Kanji sembeze bulungi ogirabe. Yuyo trending in Uganda. Trending in Uganda. Yuyo trending in Uganda, Lumbuye 41.5k tweets. So that is what is trending. Chechi kirese manyi ga social media. Manyi ga social media. So tetuzikiza, tewali bino bya kuzikiza nti biki no. Tugende maaso nga tukikuba. Abali ku Twitter, abali ku ki, genda otekeyo zi post. Twitter handle yange mujimanyi era yemuze nkozesa JBMuwonge everywhere. Genda ku Twitter ojja kusangayo JBMuwonge, genda ku YouTube ojja kusangayo JBMuwonge, genda ku Facebook ojja kusangayo JBMuwonge, genda ku website ejja kubera www.jbmuwonge.com, genda ku Instagram ojja kusangayo JBMuwonge everywhere. Ate tujja kusangayo mawulire ga bujwanga era ojja kusangayo information about our struggle. Tewali bya kwemamaza kupostinga simanyi biki, no. Tuli ku mission ya kwenunola. Tewali budde bwa diversions, tewali budde bwa postinga bintu bitagasa struggle yaffe. Yali DW yakola post recently nti Ugandan bloggers life in peril after arrest in Turkey, ne bateekawo ekifaananyi kya Kawenkene. Kitegeera. So nga nsembayo kansembi akalango kano. The first ever Uganda Action Day. Those who are going to be able to attend or to be part of the first ever Uganda Action Day. People Power Family get together. You know what it means? People Power Family over People Power Block over people over NUP. We are coming together and it's called the Uganda Action Day. It's going to be there on the 24th, 25th and 26th September, this coming month. Obwango yagala okumanya ebisingawo, link yiyo eri nup-diaspora1.com/event. Post eno tubadde tugitambuza nnyo, Twitter handle jeri, ogenda ku Facebook jeri. Oba oli South Africa, oba oli Ghana, oba oli Turkey, oba oli Netherlands, oba oli US, oba oli Ludawa, fenna tugwera Boston. Fenna tugwera Boston ku lunaku olwo. Olabe ku JBMuwonge yani, olabe ku Lumbuye, olabe ku of course ajja kuba yavaayo dda. Olabe ku bonna balabe kama wanayamba, you know. So bonna balabe, we are coming together, the first ever kino tekibangawo. So don't miss, be part of it. Registration ya $200. Yes, page yiyo. Ugenda konofuna information yonna juyagala kuyisawo. Yeah, this is just the last bit of as I wind up. I just wanted to give you this info. Very many of you don't know about it. People Power NUP Diaspora Conference. Yeah, this is the event. Make sure that you be part of this. 24th, that is the protest. United Nations headquarters. That is going to be on the 24th of September 2021. This year, this coming month. Then on the 25th and the 26th, that is of course the conference, strategy for sustainability. Bonna bagenda kubeerayo gwe boyagala. So don't miss about that. Okay guys, that was just a by the way, and bye bye for now. What you don't need to forget is to keep demanding for the freedom of our comrade. Tuwerabira postinga, tuwerabira tweetinga, tuwerabira kwogera about this thing. It is very important. Okay guys, bye bye for now.